Hey guys, it's Car Guy 11. I'm super excited to have the brand new 2023 GR Supra Manual behind me. Thanks to Toyota, they just dropped it off, and I have it parked alongside my personal automatic GR Supra. So today we're gonna make a video seeing which one is better, auto versus manual, the long time feud, but I finally have them side by side to compare, and like I said, I am the owner of this 2020 automatic Supra for going on 4 years now, so definitely have some experience driving the automatic, first time driving a manual. So let's check out the differences and see if the manual is more fun to drive than the auto. I'm not so sure because this auto is amazing in its shifting capabilities, so we'll see what happens this week. Stay tuned. Alright guys, it's been about a week since I've been in the manual 2023 GR Supra, and a fun week it has been. You know, everybody asked me when the manual Supra was announced if I was going to trade mine in for it. Well, today you're going to find out. The car is largely unchanged from the automatic Supra. Different wheels for the 2023 model year. You have the dark finish, which does hide the brake dust, which is nice. Although I still kind of like the gloss black on the prior generations. The only other thing different for the 2023s that I've noticed is there is a silver trim piece on the bottom spoke of the steering wheel, which prior was a gloss black. So so not a lot of changes in 3 years. Also for 2023, all the Supras have gotten tweaked suspension, steering. Honestly, haven't noticed much difference compared to my 2020. I believe the suspension in sport mode might be a tiny bit more supple, but I mean, we're splitting hairs here. Not much difference in my opinion. The steering still, unfortunately, doesn't have great feel. Typical Toyota, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Take a launch from the stop. You do get some axle hop with the manual. Now let's talk about the driving experience with the manual. Toyota did a wonderful job with the shifter, and I have reviewed the prior generation M2, actually both the M2 and M2 competition with the manuals. This is far superior with the shift action. It's a lot notchier, it's more direct feeling, it's just better overall. Now, it's not perfect. I do not like that the reverse gate is in the first gear position, and sometimes I accidentally get it in to reverse when I want to go into first. Yes, there is a detent on that gate. You have to push extra hard to get in, but sometimes you just grab the shifter and you can bypass that. Also, if you're hard shifting 1 to 2, sometimes you get caught up in the middle of that gate because of that extra gate where the reverse line is. So I don't like the reverse gear position there, but I mean, obviously they couldn't fix that. But the shifter itself feels great in your hand. It has a nice ball shifter. It is a heavier weighted knob according to Toyota as well. So that part is great. The clutch is also a nice weight, not too heavy, not too light. And it hasn't bothered me all week, actually, driving it in some traffic as well. So that part's pretty good. But you're here today to hear the differences between the auto and manual and which one is better in the GR Supra. Well, as you know, of course, I own an automatic Supra, so I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible because I have typically owned manual transmission cars my whole life, and especially all my sports cars. I do own a C7 Corvette manual as well. So it is a ton of fun, of course, to have a manual. If you do not own a manual, it is a great manual to have. It's very easy to operate. It does have the auto rev matching, which is very nice and very convenient. You can turn that off. You do get the wheels to spin still. And they have improved the final drive ratio for the manual transmissions compared to the auto, although the gearing is still taller in the manual compared to the auto overall. And you do feel that. So this is where we start seeing the negatives of the manual. The gearing is taller overall, so the car does not feel as powerful as the automatic. Hands down, you will definitely notice the difference. It's just not going to happen with the 8 speeds of the automatic, shorter gearing compared to the taller, only 6 speeds of the manual. You're going to feel that difference. In addition, because of that taller gearing, you're going to feel that this engine has more turbo lag. If you're under 2,500, 3,000 RPM, which I am now, you feel the turbo spooling up. There's no way around it. You're just not going to have the turbo on spool like the auto can, especially with the quick shifts in between gears. It'll keep that turbo on boil, where the manual, you're just not going to have that. So overall, if you want the faster car, get the automatic. I have done 0 to 60 runs as well, and I'll show it. All right, guys, we're gonna try a 0 to 60 in my normal spot where I tested my automatic Supra. Of course, we expect the manual to be slower. There is no launch control on the manual, but I will be launching it around 2,000 RPM. I am in sport mode and traction stability control. Still a lot of wheel spin. And you do reach 60 in second gear with the manual, so not a lot of shifting. This is the second time I did it in 4.5 seconds, so I got 4.56 this time. So yeah, pretty consistent. Definitely not as fast, of course, as my automatic Supra, which did it in 3.9 seconds. In this manual C7, it's naturally aspirated, instant throttle response, so you're not waiting for that turbo to spool. So in my opinion, I feel like the manual is better suited for a naturally aspirated engine. In this car with the turbo 6-cylinder, I feel the auto is better suited for it. And speaking of that turbo 6-cylinder, it's the same power, 382 horsepower, 368 pound-feet of torque. Same power as the automatic. You are going to see a fuel economy penalty with the manual, which is unfortunate, and it's quite significant. It's about 5 miles per gallon according to the EPA. And I've noticed even in 6th gear on the highway at around 80 miles per hour, it's just below 3,000 RPM, which is pretty high compared to the 8-speed auto. You're under 2,000 RPM. So the highway fuel economy is going to be much better in the automatic. Around town though, I feel like it's going to be similar, even though the numbers say the auto is much better. Overall, for this week, I'm getting around 22 miles per gallon, which I don't think is too bad. And actually, it's not far off from my automatic. But like I said, it's more of the long highway trips. You're probably going to see much better fuel economy with the automatic because of the RPM range it's running. Now, the manual will save you a few pounds of curb weight over the automatic. It's around 3,350 pounds for the manual. I don't feel the difference, of course. Taking it on some twisty roads, West Virginia here. And this is probably where the manual shines the most. You get that full control of gear changes. And the auto rev match is really nice to have here. Down in a second. I can tell the tail does want to come out. There we got some pops, very high up in RPM. Yeah, second's too short, third's a little bit too long, and that's the problem with the manual. It's, you know, longer gearing and more widely spaced gearing compared to that 8-speed auto. Hold on, great. These are the Michelin Pilot Super Sports BMW compound. Brakes feel about the same, and they are. Now the exhaust, I feel, is quieter as well in the manual. I don't know if it's manual auto or just the 2023 in general, but I do feel it's quieter. It also pops less than my 2020. Well, the 2020s always pop more than any of the other model years, but I feel like it's popping less than the 2021 automatic I also reviewed. Another big feature the manual is lacking compared to the automatic is adaptive cruise control. And I know a lot of people are like, what? Who cares about that? I want to drive the car. But you know what? I love that feature. It's so nice to have on the highway, in traffic, whatever. I know with the manual, it can't come to a complete stop, but it would be nice if they offered that at least above, say, 15 miles per hour, like other Toyota products do, including a manual Corolla I reviewed several years ago, had that feature. But you cannot get it with the manual, and that is a huge negative in my opinion. Again, you may not think so, but once you have it, it's hard to live without. Now, pricing for the GR Supra Manual, it is exactly the same as the automatic. So no savings there, but you are missing certain features. Like I said, that adaptive cruise control, there is a safety package, but it just doesn't include that feature. So you're still paying for the safety package, but not getting that feature. And of course, the reduced fuel economy. But otherwise, it is the same, and it's around $58,000 for this premium model. And Supra pricing really hasn't gone up much in the 3 years as well, so that's great. I still think it's a good value, and I think it's the best BMW on the market. But no matter which Supra you choose, they are all fun cars. Like I said, for me, I would go with the automatic. I know it's probably an unpopular opinion, but that's the way I feel. I feel like the automatic is better suited to this engine and car. But if you do not own a manual car and you want the manual experience, sure, go ahead and get the manual. So guys, what do you think? Put your comments below. Auto versus manual, which side of the fence are you on? I know I go back and forth a lot. The quality of the automatic plays a big role, and this is the best automatic transmission I have ever driven. So that is why it gets picked over the manual in this case. So that's where I'm coming from. Please check out my past reviews of all the different Supras, including the 2-liter turbo. But anyway, guys, I appreciate your support. Please give it a thumbs up. It helps me get these press cars from Toyota that bring reviews to you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.